Yes.
Yeah, Congressman, I mean, I do appreciate you coming to Quincy, first of all, so, you know, but please listen to the question, and I'm trying to get focused on this. I don't think anybody in this room does not want anyone in our communities to receive health care. Okay? So we all have an understanding of how valuable that is. There are personal situations that are troubling and stressful. There's not a healthcare provider in this community that has turned down anyone that needs health care. The federal government established Medicaid. To me, the issues you're talking about need to focus on refining Medicaid. Don't break the part of the system that's working for the 85%, okay? Fix the part for the 15%. Focus on Medicaid and Medicare, okay, and how we can do it. And you want to regulate the insurance companies? I'm in the insurance business, okay? I have no problem, you know, when a healthcare provider, you know, you get the premiums, the customer signs up, makes that commitment, then they go and they need the claim, God forbid. What's the first thing most insurance companies try to do? Decline the claim, okay? What happens when at the end of the year, the executives get paid super nice bonuses? Well, the government can do some things there. Give some of that money back to the premium in reduced premiums for the following year, okay? Put it into a reserve account. There are things that can be refined in the system. It's an evolution, not a revolution.
Right. Is there any? Yes.
Yes.
I'll be back.
What really should be done, they made it too complicated. Everybody has their issues, and they're all basically good issues. You should, maybe for two paragraphs, two paragraphs. First would be, we call it truth in billing, in healthcare billing. No provider, this is complicated, I can't use the word I want to use, I want to use the word charge. You can't do that because all healthcare providers charge everybody the same. The fly in the ointment there is that they don't expect the same amount of money from the payer of that service. So if a person's insured goes in for, say, a CT scan, everybody bills, say, $4,000 for it. If you're insured, in the end, they want $1,500 in full payment for that CT scan. If you're not insured, they want the $4,000 for it. That, when you're talking about diabetes or whatever it is, Walmart makes the most money selling diabetic supplies in the pharmacy. The second thing, and I mean, this is really an important issue, and you can do this, you can lower healthcare costs to the uninsured. And by the way, uninsured are not people that don't pay their bills. A lot of uninsured people do pay their bills.
Absolutely.
So you could lower that cost to the uninsured people by 20% just by doing that, because it's really marked up. Pathology, $7, as billed, the insurance, $70. The next thing you can do, and you address this, you say, I'll never vote for taxing healthcare premiums. Well, tax it or don't tax it, but make a level playing field for Americans. If you don't want to tax healthcare benefits for that, then for people who pay their own health insurance premiums, let that be before the line deduction under taxes. Medicare supplement plan, whatever. Those two things could be done. And how could, well, they could, but how could your fellow cohorts in government or people sitting in this room argue against having you pay more than somebody else for the exact same service? It'd be a difficult argument to do. If you did this, how would insurance, you would cut insurance companies off at their knees. They could compete on quality of service. Hospitals would not compete on quality of service. It's ridiculous if you ever call a healthcare provider and ask, how much does this cost? Well, first I'll ask you, why do you want to know? And secondly, we can't tell you because we don't know what club you belong to. And so 2 or 3 months down the line, you get it. And you'll find out what it is.
I think you have, I think one of the ideas you have, particularly with having a tax credit for what people pay instead of just putting on your itemized, I think it's a very good idea because that goes directly back to the consumer. One of the things that I think is important to note here too, is that for every person in here with private insurance, myself, everybody here, we pay approximately $130 a month per person in extra premiums to cover those that don't have health care. And so what I want to do, and I think somebody said this, and I agree, look, this is the greatest country on the planet. We have wonderful people that care. I know that even though we have profound disagreements from some on here, that at the end of the day, this country always pulls together when we need to do it. Everybody here, nobody wants to see somebody go and lose their home or have bad things happen to them. That's not what we're about as a country.
And we're not arrogant.
No, you're not arrogant.
But the president thinks that we are.
Well, look, I'm here today to talk about the bill and about what I believe to be factual. I try to be very, I try to be respectful of people's opinions, even if sometimes, you know, this is a tough business. I would just tell you, look, I don't have a PhD. I have 2 years of college. I came from a very middle-class family that lost their home. My sister lost her eye in an accident at 3. We grew up in some tough times. So I understand what it's like to have a family go through bad things. But bad things actually made our family in some ways stronger, although I have to tell you, watching what happened to my dad was certainly not fun. And I am going to keep that promise to him that I made right before he died, that I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that not another family has to go through what this gentleman and the people that have been with us or anybody in this auditorium today has.
Given the mood of this room, I'd like to know what the relative weights were in your support, your decision to support this bill. What weight did you give party pressure to support it as opposed to the desire of your constituents?
Well, I think I laid out very clearly my position on what I wanted to see and not see in a health care plan. And I don't think anybody was objectionable. Well, maybe. Let me repeat it, though. Well, maybe. Okay. I want to see us. Okay, here's what I want to see in whatever the Senate comes up with, if we even get a bill. But I pray that we do. I pray that we do. But this is what I want to see in a bill and what I will not vote for. I will vote for a bill. It doesn't have to have a public option if it has co-ops and it will cover the 47 million people that don't have health care coverage and give portability to people that lose their jobs so that they can go in someplace and have health care and not lose everything that they've had and go to COBRA.
You didn't answer the question.
I am answering the question. Okay, I'm sorry, what?
What were the relative weights that you gave to each part? What is driving you to support this out of those 2 bullet points? Party pressure or the desire of your constituents? Because I'm not seeing the desire of your constituents in this setting to be for this bill.
Well, look, I will tell you, again, and I don't think I dodged the question. I don't take party pressure. My party, there's people in my party that wanted single. There are people in my party that wouldn't vote for a health care bill if it didn't call for single payer. Look, I said before, when I see the final bill, you're asking me, and look, I've heard from you and I understand where you're coming from, and I share a lot of the concerns that you have. I said, I do not want a government takeover of your health care bill, and I won't vote for your health care plan, and I won't vote for a bill that does.